Basically teaching people how to level with mastery system. Well, what you want to do at the very beginning, you want to go basically back to the hub. If you're just if you're just starting the game, and when you go to the hub itself, if you're a brand new player. You want to basically do it this way because it makes a lot of sense. And it makes a lot of mastery as well. Now you can craft many characters and stuff like that to bring up your mastery. But this is one of the easiest ways to start off with the game. You want to collect some glam at the beginning. Basically, in most cases, you'll get glam from killing the creatures, or you get glam from running around the fields and stuff like that. Once you get enough glam and stuff like that to buy your first fishing pole, you want to come over to Saltwater Sam. You'll see exactly what I'm looking at here. There's a couple of items that you can actually pick up. But you want to pick up some lures and stuff like that because of the fact that you'll be able to go fishing and stuff like that to get your very first mastery. Now, you only want to worry about the mastery in the hub itself. You want to get the hub hugger and other fish from the pools and stuff like that, so you'll be able to grab as much mastery as possible. So once you've actually finished with that and get enough glam and whatnot, this will take you about 45 minutes to an hour and a half to get. Hour and a half, I will say, at the longest point of time to actually get the mastery. Then you want to go to basically the drowned world. And you want to go down to Uber 3 or whatever Uber you can actually enter, and you want to go along and find a pirate ship. Once you get the pirate ship, I'll show you exactly what the pirate ship would look like when it comes to actually getting the mastery. Because your very first mastery would be, like I said, be able to be easily picked up this way. Because the fact is, when you actually got mastery itself, you'll be able to get your first, like, I think it's like 40 levels of mastery by doing this way, and you'll basically benefit. Now, I'm after doing it at the very beginning myself, and it works quite well. Now, you'll see pinwheels and stuff like that, or ship wheels. Usually that means there's dungeons and stuff like that in here. But it's also traders in there as well, mixed in with the dungeons. You'll basically see them basically as you come up to any shoreline or any place at all. And you'll see these as well. You can grab these boxes by shooting at them or whatnot. You'll actually get golden seashells. It's not much, but it still does help. Now, the very first trader you'll see here, it looks like it has a blue flag or a blue sail. And this would be for your Gonda and your Trove of Wonders. I would suggest this to be for a very end game. So you'll talk to the NPCs here. You got the Weaver of Wonder. You also got the Merchant of Marvels. This one you can actually buy a Trove of Wonders and to basically get your first first rare mounts and stuff like that. But once you get into the game and get close to the end game, this is what I would suggest, because it is very expensive to get. But you can actually get like a good basic emblems and stuff like that from here and whatnot. You'll be able to grab like the Sure Strike emblem, which is kind of good for novices when you first come in. And you'll be able to grab that. You'll be able to get different emblems that will actually be able to help you through the game. Now, most of these emblems, you can buy them off of people with flux. I'm not saying it's cheaper. I'm not saying more expensive. It depends on what you're going for. And it depends on if you want to grind for all your emblems. Now, you're going to still have to grind for them anyways. But if that would be for later on in the game, I wouldn't suggest it right off the hop. But you can get the emblems pretty early in the game by doing it this way. So I want to be able to show you the other one as well. So I'm going to grab my boat here, and I'm going to basically sail around, and hopefully I'll find the other one, because the other one is kind of hidden, but it's not hard to find. Once you find it, you'll be able to go back and forth. What I mean by back and forth is go along and change the items by flying away from it and going back to it. So you'll be able to get it right quick. Now this is the other two. This is the one that you can get one mount, which is called a Jelly Knight. This one does not change. Okay? This is basically the Jelly Knight, and it's the only thing that it sells. It will not sell nothing else right off the hop. It basically mounts at the very beginning are worth about 50 mastery each, and they will actually help you quite a bit. Now you want to come over here, and this is basically saltwater. This is a basically not saltwater sand, but this is the island trader. You want to come over to here. You'll see right now I got a fast frank here. Okay, but if I leave here and I fly just a little bit down the stream here, you'll basically see what I'm talking about. We got a fast frank, so I'm gonna go along and get that changed. Okay, so I'm gonna fly away from it. I know I got two traders here, but you'll see what I'm talking about when it changes. So I want to use my map, and I want to make sure I don't see the boat anymore. Okay, I'm gonna fly back to this exactly the same boat, and once I have actually stopped lagging here for a second because the trove, but once you get going, it's not hard to do. So it's at a site now, so I'm gonna go back to that same boat, okay? And basically when I go back to it, the item will be changed. And it will always change when it comes to that. I mean, you can go back and forth to this boat many times. It has a lot of mounts, there's a lot of resources there, and it's also a lot of mastery. You want to be able to get this boat itself and use it and utilize it as much as you can. Now, see, now it's a different mount there. And every time I come back and forth to here, you want to have at least 40,000 glam to do it. And when you actually get enough glam and get enough resources, you'll be able to get mastery like crazy. You want to be able to farm this as much as possible so you get the early mastery. Then when you get finished with that, the next bit of mastery you want to get is in Geode. Geode is actually easy to do. You want to go to the Geode, basically Geode topside, and you want to do the creatures and stuff and critters, and that's coming to these NPCs here. I'll show you in a moment. Once you get to the NPCs here, you want to speak, you can speak these for basically getting, what's it called? Getting your aventurine and stuff like that. Each one of these will give you basically 350 aventurine, or be 350, 375. It's basically one of the quickest ways to get aventurine right after at the very beginning of the game. But now you want to speak you want to come over here. You got a module forge. You also get the other forge. This forge will actually help you with your gas consumption and whatnot. You want to look after your Omni tool and stuff first, and then you want to look after your gas, because you want to farm as quickly as possible, and then you want to look after your gas and stuff like that. It'll actually help you quite a bit because of the fact when you actually get going, you want to farm quicker and quicker. It's just what Geode is, because you don't want to spend a lot of time in here. You want to be able to get as much as possible. Now, to get everything maxed out, like I have here, basically to all unit 10 or level 10, when you actually get this maxed out, it'll take you about 2 days to do. If you're doing between two and a half days, then because if you're constantly doing Geode, then you can come in here and get the special stuff that's here, and you'll be able to get whatever you need here. Basically, what it is, it's more to do with doing these portals. These are 3 elements. You've got like the moon, you've got the fire. You also got like kind of like earthly, so or plant-based. So you want to look at exactly what you're doing with that. So you want to be able to go along and do these dungeons next, and this will help you get even more mastery. So if you're doing like just leveling characters and stuff like that, building them, You can do that through via the adventuring table or character table. There's also one in Neo City as well, which is called the Vanguardian. You want to be able to grab that as well, but it does require quite a bit of resources. That's one of the separate characters that they put in the game shortly after. When it comes to like Neo City and whatnot update. What they done with that is just put its own character in there to make it a little bit different. Now, I could show you exactly where that is too, but you'll get the gist of it when you actually get there and whatnot, and you'll be able to make it work for yourself. Now, this is a short tutorial on basically how to get your first mastery and be able to go along and benefit the best for your game when it comes to it. Now, like I said, you can craft every character, but once your characters are almost completed, you want to be able to get the Neo Ninja, you want to get the Shadow Hunter, you also want to get the Gunslinger, which is the three best characters currently in the game. Now, the best tank for boosting or having the best buff would be the Candy Barb currently, because it gives you speed buff and stuff like that, but a lot of people don't use it anymore because it was basically back in beta when you couldn't do nothing, or when you first started the game. A lot of people used it because it gave a speed buff, and it's really good for speed runs itself because it kills stuff quicker. If you've got one in your team, it works quite well. You can cut down your time quite a bit. Now, with the Gunslinger, actually kind of eliminates the use of a tank. That's everybody's high enough level because they do shoot very quickly by themselves anyway. So it's quite differently. So you want to be able to do that, and you'll be able to utilize that at 100%. Now, this is exactly how to beginning of Trove, and this is the way I did when I first started. Just to basically learn the ropes of the game and basically get into the game. Like I said, you can use this method or you can try your own method itself, but this is what I find the most efficient. It does take a little bit of time to go fishing and stuff like that to start the ball rolling, but once you get going, it basically you'll be able to pop off mastery like it's like water. So you'll be able to do that first, and then once you do that, you should be able to get 40 to 50 mastery or more. I'm after getting teaching people this before. They got over, I think it's like 170, 180 mastery levels in about 2.5, 3 weeks. That's including like 2 or 3 characters running, and then whatever they want to run and whatever they want to build first. So this is exactly the way I learned how to play the game. This is exactly the way I felt it most efficient. Now, if you can go along and, like I said, figure another way of doing it, go ahead. But this is exactly what I did. This is exactly my video and on how I did it, and hopefully you actually enjoy. And thanks for tuning in, guys, and hopefully be able to see you in the next run, and hopefully be able to see you in Trove as well. Have a great day, or great night, or great evening, depends on where you're to, and have a good one.